We are live. Great evening. Thank you for tuning in. Shadidi Laser here on Let's Talk Licensing. Now, thank you for those of you on my IG who are tuning in, and thank you for those within the content licensing group and my streaming partners who are tuning in this evening. So, what we're going to discuss on this particular segment is why content licensing is the fastest, most effective way to increase your authority, your credibility, and the recent or current events that inspired this session is that I had the honor, the privilege, the pleasure to serve as a guest speaker at the Authority and Influence Summit this afternoon. So, this is a summit that has been around for a few years. Many of the heavy hitters in coaching and transformation, personal development took place or had their time on the stage to participate. It's a fairly big deal, and so anytime that I have the opportunity to speak is a chance to almost spar and sharpen my ideas because you have a live audience and you have the feedback that you receive through questions from your audience. So I am sharing some of the questions that I received from the segment with you this evening. Now, before we get into this, first thing I want you to do is go to bit.ly/JV Summer Giveaway 21. That is bit.ly/JV Summer Giveaway 21. What is this? This is the Jviology Summer Giveaway. Now, Jviology is a joint venture community. The difference between a joint venture community or a joint venture partnership and an affiliate partnership, for example, is with an affiliate partnership. I do not have to have any relationship with the person selling the product. So I can go to ClickBank, I can go to JV Zoo, and I can register, create an account. As long as I stay in good standing, I can go to any product within those marketplaces and promote the product. No problem. Commission sales, I can, create YouTube videos. I can do shout outs on Instagram, number of ways to generate commissions. Now, with joint ventures, these are more problem and solution based in that when you have a solution, it creates new problems. So if I'm a weight loss coach and I have a client that I help to lose 30 pounds, what's the new problem that they have? Number one, they none of their clothes fit them anymore. Number two, they may have some confidence adjustments that they need to make now that they're receiving tons of new attention. And so I can partner with, let's say, mindset coaches. I can partner with tailors. I can partner with, let's say, dry cleaners, because now when you have, let's say, custom suits, for example, in many cases, you have different ways of taking care of clothes. And so that's where the joint venture comes in, where it's more, let's say, ongoing. It's something that solves a specific need for both parties. And there's two people who are devoting resources to a project versus a full blown partnership where two people are joining forces to launch a business. If you want to, let's say, scale your business to upper six, seven figures, partnerships are the most effective way to do so. And so the JVology community exists to help business owners to build their business through partnerships. It's a very powerful strategy that I've used for a long time, long time. And so The Jviology summer giveaway is 60 plus gifts. I have a gift that I have provided, partnership profits formula, and there's 59 others that will help you to move along in your journey. In fact, I will share my screen and walk you through some of the details here. So let's see. Uh, okay, so share my screen briefly and walk you through it before we get into what we're here to cover. So once you opt in, bring the screen full screen. You will first have the opportunity to register for JVology Live, which is a 3-day virtual event that is geared towards partnerships galore. So you get to pitch your services and have hundreds of people who are interested in forming partnerships to connect with you. Your calendar will be full for at least 3 weeks after this particular event. So the event itself is coming up in September, but you get a ticket because you're part of my tribe. You get a ticket for $1. So once you opt into this page, which is the link that I provided, you will be sent. You register first for the JVology Live 3-day event. It does not cost $1 typically. It's definitely a paid event. But this is a one-time promotion. And so once you go to this page where the gifts are, as you can see, let me slow down for a second. You have various gifts and there's 6 categories. So let's start here. So clear and confident persuasion quick start action training bundle. So this is valued at $497. You have, let's say, the mind body business transformation from Matt Travis. You have, let's see, the solution framework to generate 10 to 15 high quality leads. Dr. David and Dana are the real deal. Let's see, the ultimate content repurposing guide. Jen Neal is also the real deal. And so there's many. Steve Werner, I've interviewed him for my podcast, Death to Bad Webinars, one of the best webinar strategists in this here coaching industry. And we talked about Death to Bad Webinars on my podcast episode. And so I know for a fact that he's the real deal. But the point being is that when you click this link, you gain access to these gifts and you can download them. And since you are part of my tribe, if you have any questions about any of the gifts, meaning how can I leverage them to do better or apply it to my unique scenario, then just reach out to me and I'll be happy to help you along your path. So we make sure it's fully supported. So bit.ly/JV Summer Giveaway 21 in order to gain access to the JVology Live event, which there's a flash sale running for $1 for a ticket that is typically $97 at the lowest level. So you want to take advantage of that. So with that being said, let's move on into some of the questions that I received as a result of the content licensing talk that I gave. And this session was based on my 9-step process to package your skills, develop your program into a license ready curriculum, and generate licensing discussions. So took the formula and applied it specifically to the art of, let's say, building your reputation. Now, within my market, in terms of tech and you know a few other areas of small business, I've always maintained a certain dominance within my local market from a search engine perspective. And so the brands that I've created or partnerships I've created have led to a steady stream of leads, subscribers, and sales for close to 15 years. So I took that experience combined with the fact that my very first business uh, is a technical writing slash resume writing company, and helping people to build their own personal brands to land, let's say, higher paying jobs, as well as transition into self-employed professionals, and combine those two into this particular session. So when we go into these questions, it's from that lens and or perspective. Now, so question one is, why would a company pay me? It's the person asking, why would they pay me year after year for my course after they pay for it once? And I chuckled a bit because it's like, okay, uh, introduction to the world of subscription payments. Now, if you are a service-based business or a product-based business, e-com, having a subscription-based business is a blessing from the heavens above, in that subscription-based businesses or revenue models help you to stabilize your business because you are creating additional paydays for it. Now, those of you who follow my work are familiar with my ideas on quote unquote digital assets. But when you have a service, you have a choice to have, let's say, installment payments or subscription payments. So when you have subscription payments, an example I gave was with Netflix and Amazon Prime, which, at least one out of every five people on the planet have some sort of subscription, especially in first world countries, to Netflix and or Amazon Prime. And the question that I asked this gentleman was, well, why do you pay monthly for this service? And the reason why you pay monthly is due to the value that they consistently deliver. And so in the context of licensing or creating a program that a corporation would purchase, there's always going to be a renewal period for that particular purchase. And within your licensing contract or agreement, you want to add a provision or clause for that conversation to happen. So if you have annual licensing, let's say an annual license for your particular program, you want to write within the contract that there's going to be a review period at, let's say, 3 months out of the year, at 6 months, and then at 10 months, we're going to do a review. Now, the purpose for this review is very important. It's a subtle thing here. The purpose of this review is so that you can have your clients in or your licensees in this case, in the mode of renewing before the 12-month period. And so that's so important. And that's one clause that we always write within our contracts when I'm working with my clients under a done with you context or a done for you context. Both packages contain proposal writing support. So when clients bring a deal to the table, I don't just give them advice and send them on their way. I roll up my sleeves. We get on some sort of video call. I prefer Zoom, and we write that proposal step by step, and we win the deal. And so this is why someone would, or an entity, a company would pay for a service or a program that you've created, uh, on an annual basis. So that's known as, you have them on a subscription or an annual subscription or an annual license. And when you start to have those recurring payments, that and you have multiple licensing agreements with organizations, in your region, around the country, around the world, then it becomes a stabilizing force to your business. So that is a great question that I received. The next question: I want to build a certification program. Where does this fall into your model for licensing? Now, when we talk about um, cert programs, these fall under the curriculum phase. So within my model, you have three specific phases. You have your course, you have your program, and you have your curriculum on the far end of things. So your certification programs will fall under the curriculum phase. So the reason why it will fall under the curriculum phase is because you must develop your program into a curriculum before it makes sense to offer it as a cert program. I'm going to give you a brief definition, my definition in my world, my paradigm of the difference between a program and a curriculum. So, program in itself is a course with mentorship, accountability, as well as community. Now, when we talk about the differences between curriculum and your curriculum itself is defined by customer experience. So when someone takes this course again, it it's the feeling that you have read a great book. So for me, I've read the 4 Hour Work Week, you know, dozens of times. I have it in audiobook. I have it in, paperback copies, so it exists in multiple formats. I had it on CD, you name it. And so when I go through the book, it gives me, number one, the education I'm looking for, and in many cases, because it's so consistent, it also I get a new understanding when I read this book again. So if I read it now and I read it 5 years from now, I'm going to understand certain concepts on a deeper level. Now, as it relates to your signature program or your signature course, when you talk about your, let's say, that depth of understanding that only happens from clearly understanding your audience combined with repetition of delivery. So you have to, at the program level, start to bring people through your transformational car wash and have people, at least 100 people, go through your program before it becomes a true curriculum, because that's where your referrals, that's where your testimonials will begin to arise, which leads to the licensing conversations that come up and lead to you licensing your signature book, course, program, curriculum. And so at the curriculum level, cert programs are great because that's where you can have the train the trainer model. And so when you have, let's say, uh, what I call the practice builder model underneath cert programs, this is where you provide the resources in order for other professionals to grow their practice. So if you've created a course that teaches people how to be real estate investors, for example, and you can have people get certified under your methodology. And let's say you provide the resources, you provide the training for your certified trainers to grow their individual practice using your resources and your support. You also will provide branded training materials such as PowerPoint slides, worksheets. These are things that are typically included. Recurring group training will also be a great addition to this, either let's say once per month or once per quarter, where within those sessions you share what's working in the field and also what's working with your highest ranking trainers and any techniques that are popular on the rise or converting at a high level. I'll give you an example of something I've paid $2,000 plus dollars for as far as CERT programs. So for the resume company, I wanted to be better, or let's say expand the practice into federal resumes. So what I did was I partnered with Catherine Troutman, and I basically l- gained a license to her 10 steps to federal jobs training. So with this training, it was a week long session, and you take a test, you get certified, and then you're provided with job placement, which means she has training gigs all around the world, and you can serve as an instructor. And so, with that, you gain access to her 10 steps curriculum where you can teach using her PowerPoint slides, you receive books, the whole package. So as long as you have the knowledge and skills, you can step forward and deliver. Now you're not going to be as knowledgeable as the author, herself, but you are a qualified representative. And so the reason why I went forth with this direction is because it provided the credibility. So partnering with the best gives that credibility, having that know-how and investing in a proven system also helps people to get those results. So for her, it provides revenue, consistent income stream because there's a recertification path that's involved. And so these are all great reasons and examples. So to circle back to the original question, in terms of where does certification fall into my common licensing approach, at the curriculum level is where certifications fall into. So if you just have a course, you would not start with certifications unless you have a community already established. If you have a powerful personal brand and you are a bona fide influencer, that's where you can skip a few steps and move forward because you've already been nurturing your audience and community, maybe through other programs. But if you're just getting started in terms of influence building, then your certification program is not where you would start in terms of packaging your knowledge, creating digital assets. Does that make sense? If it does, comment in the chat and feel free to leave your questions in the chat as well. Thank you, Instagram, for tuning in. Now, final question. How does licensing help me boost my credibility? Now, when it comes to boosting your credibility, we got to take a step back here and realize what type of world we actually live in. And so we live in an on demand society. What does this mean? It means when you want information, you miss the Super Bowl, you miss the BET awards, you miss this event, you miss the last season of 90 Day Fiance. You are going to go to some online library in order to see the on demand version of it. And so if you missed the Super Bowl, you may go to YouTube. If you missed the Olympics, you may also go to YouTube to view the clips. And so, well, the highlights, that's the world we live in today. There's more on demand material than at any point in recorded history. So, as it relates to a hiring and or business decision making context, when a decision needs to be made, you look for a person's information as well as the supporting aura or actions in order to put the puzzle pieces together. So, what I want you to realize is no matter if you operate a business that sells products or services, the first business that you own is your first and last name. And so the ability to leverage your reputation to increase the value of current deals and attract new opportunities is what I call your reputational currency score. And so when you start to think about reputational currency and as it relates to licensing, here's what I want you to realize. If someone's searching for you and are looking to make a decision to bring you on to a, a large deal, and you're able to package your knowledge and create a comprehensive solution, then that immediately sets you apart from someone who is just popular on social media. So someone can have business owner within their bio on Twitter, for example, or Instagram. But if you're the creator of the 24/7 lead system where 1,000 students have generated over 20 million US dollars, then that is going to have a higher credibility. Now, let's take it a step further. The act of licensing in itself is a credibility booster because you're partnering with a larger entity and you're delivering results for that larger entity. So, again, if you have created a program where 500 Yale University students have received results, then you have a higher credibility than just someone who is operating or a practitioner within your field. So the mere act of packaging your solutions and partnering with an organization that has the target market that you serve and support gives you a credibility indicator where you can say that you were featured, or you've collaborated with or you've partnered with agency, university, or large scale corporation. So that is how licensing helps you to boost your credibility. Once again, this is Shadidi Laser, and this has been another episode of Let's Talk Licensing. Once again, I want you to go to bit.ly/JV or JV Summer Giveaway 21. Claim your gifts. You have until tomorrow at 11:59 p.m. and 60 plus gifts. Um, Download them now and create a schedule to work on them later. You have full support through me in order to help you to solve any challenges or roadblocks that may come up in your journey. So, Shadidi Laser, once again, please enjoy your evening. And if you have any questions on licensing, then send me a direct message on the social media platform that you are viewing this learning experience. Over and out. Enjoy your evening.